Mopar Man here. Hope everybody's doing well. Today is one of my days off. Tomorrow I'm off as well. Back to back. You can't beat that. Uh, anyway, I wanted to give you a heads up on or update, I should say, on my mom's pickup truck, the 2006 Chevy Silverado. Um, Part two video, I had the new rack and pinion pretty much measurements and the new tie rod ends on the whole 9 yards all together, and it just needed to be put back in the truck. And I didn't want to do a video on installing the rack and pinion, but I just want to do it before and after, so to speak. So this video, this is not a part 3 or anything, but so I got the rack and pinion all back in, got the tie rods, like I said in the old video, the other video, part 2, took the tape measure, did the measurements to try to mimic how the distance on the old tie rods were, that sort of thing, and which position the arms on the rack and pinion were. Then we had a little bit of an issue with, we tried 3 different shops to get an alignment. The one here in my town, the two, one of them that's a warehouse tire type place, they were going to charge 80 some bucks, and they said if we dropped the vehicle off, they might be able to squeeze it in. And the other one, Big O Tire, said they could get it in that morning. But before that one, I called one in Branson, Lakeside Tire, because everybody recommends them up on East 76. And from what I've heard, nothing but good reviews by locals and people that's visited the shop about that place. So I called them, and like I said, Big O Tire said they could get us in. Otherwise, that Lakeside Tire was going to be next week on like 1 o'clock or something on a Tuesday or whatever. So we didn't think we could wait that long. Well, our mistake, which I think it's kind of a good thing too, because it exposed this business for being shysters. We decided to take it to Big O Tire, and they're going to charge us 80 some dollars to do the front end alignment. But I said, do you compare prices to your competitors? Yeah. So I said, well, so and so does it for 45 bucks. So they dropped it down to like $50. Okay, so all right. So I followed my mom in. She dropped the truck off. We went about taking care of some bills and where my mom needed to go. And we get about not even half an hour into it, we get a phone call saying that they can't do the alignment because the guy found problems with the front end parts on the truck. And so we go back, and the guys, well, we didn't talk to the guy, but the butch behind the counter, that's the manager that runs the shop, basically said, well, he found all kinds of problems, and this is the problems, and you got a bad front wheel hub assembly and 2 upper ball joints that are bad, and here's a list of what it's going to cost to fix it with parts, labor, and all this stuff. And it came out to like $1,188 and some odd cents. And we had talked to some people after that. We said, well, let's go see what O'Reilly's was going to charge just for the parts, and to see if it'd be cheaper, or go through Rock Auto and just do it ourselves or something to save some money, since my mom's on a fixed income for retirement. Anyway, we found out that instead of buying an upper ball joint by itself for that truck, them 2000s model pickup trucks, you can buy the upper control arm with the new bushings and the ball joint for the price which you'd pay for the ball joint. So we were thinking about doing that, but I was gonna help my mom with saving up some money. She was gonna save up some money, and we were gonna do that. But then somebody told me, says, no, go up to Lakeside Tire on East 76 in Branson, talk to the owner so-and-so, and tell him that you want the front end inspected, and then if it passes, you need an alignment. He's a really good guy, and they're real good honest people. So we did, but we didn't tell him what Big O Tire had told us. So we set up the appointment. Tuesday rolled around for 1 o'clock. We dropped the truck off. We went and sat in the lobby. He went and checked a bunch of stuff, took it for a test drive, came back, and then we saw him within like 15-20 minutes drive out and go for another test drive again. And he came back and said, "You're all good to go." He's like, and we thought that maybe he checked all the front end and stuff, and now he was ready to do the front end alignment. Well, come to find out, he checked all the stuff from A to Z, and then also did the front alignment all in one swoop, and only charged my mom $40 to do the whole thing. And he says, "If you don't mind me asking," he says, "well, what was the issues?" And we mentioned to him about Big O Tire in Hollister and the outrageous bill and stuff they were wanting to charge my mom. And he says, "We've gotten a lot of complaints from customers and a lot of locals and stuff saying that they won't take their vehicles to Big O because they've had problems with them, or they've tried to get them for a bunch of money." And I said, "I've talked to some people that I work with and other people that I know that don't work with me, and they've had the same thing. Like the one lady that moved all the way from Minnesota, and to have her oil change or something done, and then all of a sudden they said that they broke something on their lug nut or done something, and they wanted her to pay for it, and she's like, 'No, you broke it, you fix it.' Based off that information, we think there might have been some bias because we're speculating there might have been some bias because of the political stickers on the back of my mom's truck. She's got a anti-Biden, pro-Trump stickers, and we think that might have had something to do with it, but they tried to play it off as having work, front end work problems on the truck, or just the guy is trying to just get extra money for the company. So my mom's going to probably end up filing a complaint with Better Business Bureau, maybe even the corporate office, and then maybe even maybe take some legal action. We don't know what she's planning on doing just yet. She wasn't happy, but the guy at Lakeside Tire said there's just the tiniest bit of play in each ball joint. He says it just looks like this natural wear and tear. It's not enough to affect the alignment. And he said there was nothing wrong with the wheel hub assemblies, and he couldn't find any slop in them. And hold on a minute. So anyway, I thought there was going to be a loud, noisy car come driving by, but anyway, they went around the other side of the loop. Anyway, he says that truck looks like it's not used and abused in a bad way, like, lots of off-road type stuff for, rough terrain, that sort of thing. It says it looks like it's a kind of basically like a grocery getter back and forth to town thing. And I said, yeah, that's exactly what my folks use it for. They try not to haul anything heavy in it. They might do a small load of firewood, but that's about as big as it gets. There's some odds and ends to take. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, he says just drive it. It's fine. He did the alignment on it. Like I said, only charged my mom $40, and so my mom's got a working vehicle again, and I've got my truck. So we got two working vehicles back again. And for you newbies, this Jeep runs, but the computer is shot. It cranks over, does everything it's supposed to. It's just not getting any fire. So we got a mailman that delivers mail out here in the country that's a Jeep guy. He's got an extra brain for it that he had sent off. And what do they call that? Reprogrammed or rebooted or something. And the bad thing was is his wife that had the same year Jeep. Hers was like a turquoise color. It had the engine blue on it. It had just so many tons of miles, like probably like 400 some thousand miles on it. So he's got the computer brain for us, but we got to try to, in order to get this Jeep running, I think he wanted about $200 for the brain, which, I mean, it's a lot cheaper than going and buying a $200 or $300 brain online and then having to pay the shipping and all that stuff. But so that's in the works of getting that eventually running again. My mom's thinking about selling my dad's truck since he's no longer here, and before he left, it was parked there because if you don't know, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia, and he was already having problems driving. And since he couldn't drive, they basically took his driver's license away, but he has a form, an ID, but he just can't drive. So that truck just sits there, and we got the option of just selling it as is. It's a 78 Chevy pickup long bed. It's got extra front fenders and patch panels that go on the side of the bed just over the lip, like what I'm pointing at on the Jeep here, but on the bed of the truck. Or fixing it up a little bit and then selling it and get a little extra money out of it. We haven't decided yet. We're still going to be working on the Valiant. Our main focus is the Valiant and the Dart, my Dart. But the Dart is going to be more of a early fall project when the temperatures get a little bit cooler, when the mosquitoes and stuff isn't out, and ticks. Even though we spray the yard, the mosquitoes are still a problem back there in the backyard. So yeah, and then I don't want to be sweating buckets and trying to deal with mosquitoes and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, and anyway, and we'll be doing more visits out at Jim's place. After I did that video, that second video out there at my buddy Jim's place, he sent me photos. He just got I think it was a 1970 Dodge Charger RT car, 440 console, automatic console car, I think he said it was. Jim will probably correct me if I'm wrong, I think. But somebody tried to put a 69 front clip on it to turn into a 69 Dodge Charger. He got that, and he's selling that, and I don't know if it already sold or if he still has that. He says I can do a video on it if I get out there in time, unless somebody buys it before I can do a video. And then he's supposed to have a bunch more vehicles coming out for sale. And then last but not least, for the newbies watching, I'll be doing a video on where my buddy Jim works at a restoration shop. And they actually have the correct model of Cadillac to make it into the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 model. And so he's promised me a tour through the shop of the project vehicles that they work on. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Otherwise, work schedule's been pretty busy. So, but we're starting to wind down here eventually. We're getting ready we already got our Halloween stuff in at the store, and they're already pushing for this coming week or next week, pushing to set up stuff for Christmas displays already. Christmas in September. And but anyway, but yeah, anyway, I rambled on long enough, and feel free to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything. You can leave anytime you want. And if you want to donate to the channel, I'll have in the description below my personal PayPal account. It's not friends and family, so you don't have to worry about possible hackers or scammers getting on there and infiltrating my account. I've had a couple other YouTube channels send me money before to help me out, and then I've sent money back to them, helping them out. One of them's from Bad Tree Production. Blake sent me $20 or $25 in the past, and I sent money back to them to help them towards their project when I was doing a little bit better on funds. But yeah, I'll have that in the description below. and I'll show proof of what I bought with your donation on the video. And if you want to be recognized, let me know. And if you don't, if you just want to remain anonymous and still donate, I can do that too. But until next time, we're going to be signing off here. Not a bad day to enjoy my day off here.